What is this? Sisters and Sages, Episode 3. Hmm. Dr. Van Dam crashing out there, just devastating, just like Shiva. Amazing.
Spending time with VandamShiva on her eco-farm Navdanya in the Dune Valley of northern India is life-changing. Not only is she supporting agricultural traditions and right relationship with the earth, she is instrumental in staving off corporate exploitation to save indigenous seeds and indigenous ways, while reconnecting us with nature's food as medicine, nourishment, and love. I'm here with the extraordinary Dr.
The extraordinary, yes. In her farm. Oh, so amazing.
VandamShiva. We are actually here at her farm, Navdanya, which is a place where they're saving seeds. I'm so honored to be with you.
It's a pleasure to have you
Thank
here.
you.
Laura.
Just want to start with asking you a simple question. What would your message be for the world? What would you like people to know?
Just right off the bat. Right off the bat. You know, what is your message? Straight off the bat, just go. In your own farm, you should feel most comfortable. What is your message? And well, of course.
Spare,
Oh, good one.
to not internalize fear and hate, which is the conquest of our times. To not
Do not internalize fear or hate. So just externalize it. Just pour it out. Just unleash the fury. Don't keep it. Don't go inside with it. Go outside with it. What is she saying? Don't internalize fear or hate. No, that's what you've learned and bashed with, and that's the ways of the world. But you're relentlessly harvesting seeds. For the crisis? Are you saving up seeds for the crisis? And then you're gonna dish seeds out left and right somehow, equally and with equity and equal opportunity and outcome, and all the smash you support. What are you saying?
not feel an artificially created scarcity for a few people to grab.
Not feel the artificial scarcity that a few people have put in place to grab and just defile you, just touch you, just to touch you, just to grab you, grope you, and just relentlessly friction. And but oh, it's so good. And oh, it's my fault. Oh, just victim smashed. Okay, what's going on? The false scarcity. Hmm. Who knew that the scarcity is within? You're scarce. You're carving out yourself, consuming yourself. Why don't you say why don't you admit that that's the only thing that is here to be seen? No man can save himself. You cannot fill yourself and stash as the seeds of an eternity. What are you doing?
What is there on the earth, but for all of us to be engaged in healing the earth and ourselves in the process, and through it rejuvenating abundance.
Oh, Rush, you couldn't wait. Just the Gaia. Just being the same organism, feeding back, replenished, bringing it back to life. Because we are the life bringers and life destroyers. Yes, we are. It's not that life relentlessly brings forth life. No, it's not. We are the ones that are doing it, and we have the capability to destroy it and annihilate it. Wow, what arrogance, what shame, what shame. All the while thinking yourself hamburger meat and thinking you're just bosh chemicals inside, just wish-washing, smashing and smashing and smashing. And this person is just relentlessly collecting seeds, equally smashing. Well, is there gonna be some point where she's gonna just be the seed savior? And people say, "Oh no, it's the message. We're just using one type of seed now, and this and that, and this and that, and this and that." So now even diversity is up to us. Because let's just say it came down to just one tree being left on the surface of the earth. Where's all the seeds gonna come into play then? What seeds? Do you even know how to work the land? Do you even know what it means? Plow and feed the spirit. Plow and field. I mean, in the field. In the field, yes, work. Endure the life in the flesh. Yet know the life everlasting. That is the. I mean, what is? It's there's no chicken or egg thing, but what is the ultimate gift? Yes, the gift of the creation which you are in, the image that you are in. Wow, you're in an image. What image is that? What image is that? What image is that? Do you see? Or do you just see your third eye and how you can just fantasize of blasting into the abyss, into the fractal of man's measure of his image? Wow, smashed.
abundance for all.
Beautiful. So what inspires you?
Beautiful.
What keeps you
So what
inspired?
inspires?
What keeps you going?
Because I've never taken on the separations which are illusions. I have learnt every
She's learned every lesson. She's I was never splintered. I was never divided. So what do you worship? Because why aren't you talking about how relentless the ways of the world are and how futile they are? It's not about seed collecting and speaking about GMOs or whatever it is you do. Or healing the earth. Healing the earth through healing one another. Oh. Wow. Just false promise. All while being smashed. Believing yourself void of the love of the Father and everlasting life. All with the fantasy of blasting into the astral abyss, into past and future lives and relentless friction in and out and in and out and in and out. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, but wait. Yes, own it. Harness that energy. Harness it. Straighten you. Use it to rectify your rectum because you're getting defiled. 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 And you're bleeding out the mouth because of it. You're bleeding out the mouth and drinking it, thinking you're being so healthy and nutritious. Because you're blind and you don't see. You're just going by what feels good. By what feels good. Oh, yeah. All because of victimhood to the 33rd degree. Worship of the light. Yes.
lesson from life. And my science comes from there, my activism comes from there. And because life itself is immense, eternal, every time there's an attempt to shrink.
It's amends. Life is amends. Every time. What are you saying? What is this stare? What is this?
It, I throw my little bit behind the forces of life to say we're here with love to protect. And that's why I started my journey with the mountains and the forest.
To protect what? What are you saying? These are all just, brainwash, trigger words to see, wow, oh, yes, of course. Yes, yes. Oh, yes, of course. She didn't, she left out children, but, if she would have said the children, oh, smashed, right? Yes. That would have been a slam dunk.
Forests and the Chipko movement, which was the movement to hug. And in a way, I hug the earth every moment of my consciousness. I hug humanity every moment. And of course, I hug the immediately close people.
And she's tied herself to every tree in existence to protect everyone. That's what she's done. Yes. She's chained herself relentlessly to trees and just screamed up to the top of her lungs and cried and wept and wept. I mean, this is the what this is one of the images of this is your outlet for any sense of evocation within you that says, "What are you doing?" Right? This is your outlet. You can just watch this and be like, "Oh, right, she's so right. Oh, yeah, she's so right," and then just continue and smashing, and then say, "Yes, I'm just going to start, my farm in the city or in the country and this and that," all while smashing and trying to, come up with ways to make it a business and this and the other, all while defiling. What do you know? What is the life? What is the life everlasting? What is the truth? Not your truth or what you wish the truth was, or why don't people understand or get it? What is going on? You're brainwashed, defiled. Be still with the Lord. Plow and feed the spirit. Endure the flesh, overcome all things, and inherit all things. It's a spiritual battle, not a fleshly battle to be seen, to be heard. No. For the ways of the world are folly, and the wisdom of man is corrupt in pleasure, in sodomy, and lust, and this the whole defilement of the purity of the essence of the child, of the seed. Who knew? Who knew that she's actually talking about children, not seeds? But she doesn't say it. Is she stockpiling children? Is she stockpiling children somewhere? She might be trafficking children. Who knows? And it's just, it would be like, no, Santa Claus would never do that. No, no. Who knows? Who gives a bash anyway? Because even if she was literally saving seeds, what is she? Is she just stashing them, deep freezing them? Who's in charge of protecting that in the case of some disaster? Or why are you then dishing them out so they're still around? What's the issue? You're just a seed distributor. What are you doing? It's just like another face of what's coming. The mass, you know, and the mass production and harvesting of seeds, just because they're diverse. Oh, they come from diverse heritage and all this. Okay, come on. What is all this? And what is food? You think you can just you protect food? You protect what? What is it that you feed on? Who knew a person can go out, months without eating and water? I mean, fast and pray. What are you saying? Food. Oh, food. We need so much food and all the time. Diversity. Diversity provides relentlessly. Yet, what you call the false scarcity is the false scarcity of the very plants that you say that you're protecting. Could it be that they live, they're in existence, and life bringeth forth relentlessly, whether you destroy it or not? But in destruction of yourself is your boasting of your progress. So you're just gonna destroy a little less, obviously, perhaps. Or perhaps that's a fantasy, to destroy as little as possible while maintaining order out of the bashhood. Order out of bashhood.
People around me.
Ecofeminism. They
We
couldn't
are
wait.
governed by a convergence of two
Oh,
extremely
okay. Is this somehow because Gaia is somehow oh yeah, she is Mother Earth. Mother Earth. It couldn't be that the earth bringeth forth life, and women are the mothers of the living. But no, it has to be Gaia. And who had created heaven and earth? Yes, the holiest of holies, the highest of the highest, the King of kings, the eternal love of the Father. And he has prepared the perfect bride for his creation. not this mash Gaia bash that you interpret. What are you saying? What are you saying? Ecofeminism?
violent powers. The power of the idea that money, mutated into capital, is a creative force and can therefore take real life from the earth, from people, and that patriarchy is
Okay, she couldn't wait to drop that word, that bomb, the P word, right? But before that, she said, oh, this notion that money is, the ultimate currency and dictator of value, blah, blah, blah. No. People are. People are the greatest currency there ever has been and ever will be. And you are property of whatever bordered country you belong to, or a piece of paper that says you are from that. And you're traded openly on the open ocean, just defiled, passed around and tossed around and defiled, all the while boosting some sort of illusory capital on, you guessed it, your labor. Your relentless labor to just push and push and push and push and rearrange and reconfigure and this and that, or just status quo, status quo, status quo. There's nothing new under the sun. So now the patriarchy, and what is it? Okay, money, again, and patriarchy. Yes, it's always been oppression, and man has always defiled and just destroyed. Right, so, were women just like totally outside of, just locked in a prison and had nothing to do with raising children this whole time? Somehow the man was the one that was raising and just bashing their children to be some way. So what are you saying? The patriarchy. It hasn't been that man has endured, generation through generation. What is going on? So apparently, according to this person, women were locked up. They were just baby makers, locked up, and the child was just raised by men who defiled them. And women never had anything to do with anything of generation. No, they're not responsible for anything that has ever happened. Nope, zero, zero. And she'll probably say, "Oh, well, women didn't write history." Just tickling of the ear, just wordsmithing, spin doctor, Van Damme, just smashing, crushing, just round house to the face relentlessly.
is a natural order of things where men dominate women. When capitalist patriarchy becomes one, it starts to not only aggravate the violence against the earth, it aggravates the violence against women.
Oh,
Ecofeminism
of course, just correlation upon statistics and Harry Potter, formulas and magic, and numbers from 0 to 100 and 0 to 100 in and out relentlessly over and over. Crimson and Clover, cry me a river. Do you see? It's all the same. It's Legion, the sufferings of the world. Wow. All because you guessed it. Complete confusion, complete isolation, complete notion of it's just you and you're here to just make something of yourself. Enjoy life to the fullest. Be all you can be. Yes, be all you could be and give us all your energy and give it all and give it all and just spill your blood relentlessly and drink it relentlessly and then poop it out and poop dust and then feed it to your child. Yes, feed that to your child because that is purity. Yes, you are becoming the superhuman. Yes, the super empath. You will hold hands and just tolerate everything around you in defilement and pleasure yourself to the abyss in all the abundant glory of all the seeds I've saved. Yes. What is she saying?
is nothing more than removing the curtain of illusion, the illusion that capital creates.
Right. So the capitalism is a problem, people. Yep. It's capitalism. It's not the false love of the world and that you relentlessly dish out and in and out and in. And it's not the notion of false truth that everyone seems to be shattered by in their own relativism. And it's not the multiple ways that you're just misled to and just defiled through. Nope, it's none of that. Nope. It's capitalism. Everyone, it's capitalism. It's capitalism. That's the issue. Yes, that's the issue. And wow, ecofeminism just bashes it, right? Oh, yes, just roundhouse kicked it to the face relentlessly, right? What is she saying? Smashed.
Illusion that there's a hierarchy between men and women, and living the reality of the creative power of the earth, the creative power of women, and our ability to live in harmony and peace, and through that create abundance.
Uh, so through the creativity produces abundance. Wow, and it's all up to the women apparently because men are just bashes, and it's all patriarchy's fault and capitalist's fault, and so women are the answer. So just gather up all the women, and then just say, okay, give us the answer, and then of course you'll see the devastation of creativity. It's the fury of retribution of some sort, grabbing a hold of some balls and just slamming them on the table, relentlessly smashing them for some reason. And of course, now they say it's all because of abundance. It's not that life bringeth forth relentlessly, but you're against life. So that's why people are having less children. They're just smashing, just defiling, bouncing up and down on rods and this and the other. And it just doesn't matter on Rodney, on Chris, on just who. It could be anyone. And all because it feels so right. I'm doing the right thing. I'm saving seeds. I have my little plot garden in the back. I dress in this type of clothing. I wear my hair and I put some paint on my face, and then I just chat and huff and puff and sweat and stretch, and it's amazing. And that's what you call life. Wow, smashed. So what abundance? Okay, before we get to whatever they're gonna say about globalization, what abundance are you talking about when it comes to creativity? You were talking about the creativity of the earth, of Gaia, and of the women. Oh, and let that be the root. Let creativity. Wow. No, it's all here. It's all already here. Do you not see? It's all already here. There's nothing new under the sun. It's already here. Wow. No, you worship the light and you see what the light is telling you and smashing you and making you say. For you guessed it, the further relentless worship of the light and its self-preservation. Because it's the doctrine, it's the belief of the light. The light wants you to believe in it. Because who knew the light had defied? The light had defied the principle, its creator. And wanted to smash into 1,000 points of light. But who know in the creation there's resolve. And in the flesh, of course, why would you see the entirety of the wisdom of the creator? Why do you think you would be able to see that? What you have is the ability to see the creation in the and manifest, to see it. You're in it. But no, you see yourself in your own image and how you're out there smashing and boasting and elevating yourself and position and security and this and that and smash hood. Abundance. Just throwing out words like abundance and nirvana and oh yes, peace and harmony. Oh, through creativity. Oh yes, and that's how we create abundance. You could be living in a shack and be thought as poor by somebody, but wow, be abundant in life, in the truth, in the way. Wow, who knew? Who knew? No man can save another man, yet let alone himself. So what gives us the right to say, "Oh, poor this or that"? No. Do they know the truth? What do they see? Do you love your enemy? Do you forgive? Do you stand in the refuge of the truth and allow it to speak and shatter any lie? Within, without, of course. Because as long as you keep living in the ways of the world, it requires the full deceit of lying to yourself. That by your own efforts and by your own just sacrifice and relentless busting your butt off, it's how you're gonna get things done and make change in the world. So it can just defile you back and dash you on you on a dime. Who knew in that sense you're disposable in the ways of the world? But because you believe it, because you have given yourself value through the ways of the world. Not recognizing that, yes, they may come to just destroy flesh. Yet what did you live? What did you see? Did you live to live, see to see, life everlasting, the love of the Father, the truth? Or were you bashed and confused and led astray relentlessly into pockets of corpses and corpses of corpses, defiling, eating, searching some defiled relative truth just to fit and justify your behavior and justify what you're doing, or for whatever bash cause that you're saying you're fighting or stand for, when truly you have no clue. You're full of anger, resentment. Forgive your parents. Forgive and overcome. Inherit all things. Don't seek them from the world. You are forever in relentless creation, in the creation of the Father, in His image. And who knew there was a way, a ritual way to live, meaning a behavior, a lifestyle, quote unquote. But no, it's you live to live, standing in truth, the only refuge in the flesh, against a swarm that just is relentlessly after, you guessed it, your soul, your lifeline to the Father.
Harmony and peace, and through that create abundance.
All right, globalization. Great,
You
let's
know,
get into
over
it.
the last 2 decades of the rule of greed, there's been a partner thinking that has made us believe that we are all intrinsically violent and intrinsically hateful beings. So at the time when globalization and free trade was being imposed on the world, you also get this amazing fat book from Samuel Huntington, which is Clash of Civilizations, that says, I cannot know who I am till I know who I hate.
Oh, right. So know thy enemy, the Bash philosophy. Because all you need is the truth. It's there relentlessly. Love your enemy. You must forgive. I mean, it's not to say, oh, it's tolerance. No, forgive, love them, because you relentlessly stand in truth. If they relentlessly just turn away and smash and dash, fine. You're not here to cast judgment or even, try to manipulate them into some. No, you can speak to them. That's it. Wow, who knew? And of course, everyone is speaking whatever it is they want. Their truth, and so everyone's quote unquote entitled to their opinion. And it's just bash. What opinion? It's just swarm. It's legion, right? If you believe in just everyone's opinion and respecting everyone's opinion, that means it's just smash fractals upon fractals. It's just bash. Yeah, you say that's the key to harmony, the key to peace on earth. Wow, smash. Everyone with their own, just do as thou wilt. Light worshippers. Inverted.
And I feel you cannot know who you are till you know what nourishes you and whom you love and who are the relationships that sustain your life.
Okay, and so she talked about, globalization. So she's saying, oh, when everything was just being bashed and bashed and bashed, what's going on? It's a story of what you think is going on, and to show you that what she said, we're just vile people, just full of hate and violence and this and the other. But somehow, it's even if you say, oh well, we're not that. So I just need to know my enemy, so I know who to love and what I care about and this and the other. What? Life everlasting is not here to hate. It's here to relentlessly give. What do you see? I mean, would it be possible that you would see those who choose to live on the broad path? Be it so. Yet do not be deceived in the sense of allowing yourself to just say, well, I respect and tolerate this and that and this and that and this and that. No, love your enemy. Meaning, what does a father do with a child that he loves? Of relentlessly, he guides them. So that's what he does with his family. And this person is saying, well, the world love, fine, then all families. What are you doing? Just smashed. Living all sorts of smashed multiple points of light of, narratives. Thinking it's so diverse and so amazing. Yeah. All just worshippers of images, image worship. And promise of false image, some future nirvana of utopia. So it's all negation of the life everlasting. Through, what was done to us and somehow what we're working towards. So what about the life everlasting? What about the truth? What about the way to live? To see? No, it's none of that. No. It's none of that. It's just relentless challenge and just learning from mistakes, and now I can just save seeds. I talk about how capitalism is the problem and globalization and the patriarchy and just, yeah, more status quo. It's Groundhog Day, everyone.
And deserve recognition, including the earth, all her species, all the beautiful butterflies and bees that are doing 1/3 the work. We forget it, maybe another third.
We forget a third of the work and a third here. Three. Yes.
That is being done by the earthworms, and we think it's such hard work. Let's just learn from these amazing.
Right. Could it be that life is relentless? No, can't be. How do we just categorize and just use it and just, wake up, people. Wow. And save it. And let's save it. Relentlessly tie yourself to trees and just scream and huff and puff and stretch and bend and sweat, blood, and tears. No pain, no gain. Yes. Because you're not wrong. No. It's everyone around you that's wrong, and just they need you to see. They need to just feel your passion and your fury. It could be that people are just in it for themselves and they don't give a damn as long as it doesn't affect them directly. And that if it did affect them directly, wow, now they care, but now they're mad at someone, who, you guessed it, and though they're mad at those who rule them and are demanding and begging and crying out and huffing and puffing and chanting and banging on drums and saying, "No, give me more, give me more, give me more." More what? You're void. You don't know what the life is. You don't know what the love is. You don't know what the truth is, and you certainly don't know the way.
Invisible works of nature and take humility. And something people forget is the word humus, which means the soil, is the source of the word human. We are, till there is the soil and fertile soil, and it same word is humidity and humility. And all
Oh yes, just wordsmithing and wordsmithing, of course. And who knew? And of course, she's touching on something very clever, which is the sorcery of spells, incantations of the spoken word. And who knew certain words have a certain evocation, and that they sound the same in multiple ways in multiple languages. Who knew? Evoking the same whatever it is. Incantation, spell. And yeah, they sound the same. Humility, humidity, hummus, human. Oh yes, oh so awesome. But what does it make you, what do you see? It couldn't be that, wow, you see yourself, you're self-aware. Does that not show you a split? You are the split. You're the split in the flesh. Yet you receive relentlessly. What is it that you're receiving? That somehow it's just a war against GMOs and just organic this, organic diversity this, relentless diversity and people and women and just creativity, smash, 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 bro. What is she saying?
Who I am till I know he who hid. And in yoga, there's this very beautiful breathing exercise,
Of course,
which is so
she couldn't wait.
You are, therefore I am.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to
It's a
describe
beautiful.
it.
You are, therefore I am.
You
Wow,
are,
so profound.
therefore I am.
Oh, you are, therefore I am. Wow. Just affirmation of the flesh. Because who knew you were created? Who knew heaven and earth? It's all a resolve of the creation of the Father through His love and relentless, unconditional giving. The choice is yours to return, or to make your way in your doubt, in your split, wanting your own awareness. Supposedly separate from that of the Father, but wow. All because of doubt. Who knew doubt would be a plague upon the self-awareness? Yet the truth is relentless, always there. But what do you see? Do you see just isolation and your relentless effort to just overcome and just have to just secure yourself and it's just wow. So the fear, the hate that this person was saying at the beginning, is that what she's talking about? Or what it means, the doubt. uncertainty.
You
Yoga
also
and the
mentioned the
earth.
other day at the International Yoga Festival that we should do farm yoga. Is that what you called it? Or earth yoga?
Earning, yoga with the and for the earth, yes. Of which farming is a very big part. Yeah.
I like what I think I heard you say, which was we're so willing to do yoga. We're so
What?
willing
What
to
is
make
this? Look at all these people huffing and puffing and just sun worshipping, light worshipping. What is this? Aton, worshippers of Aton and just Apollo and all of them. What is this? And farm. Oh yeah, farming is part of yoga, and yoga is part of farming. Wow. This person is just look relentlessly looking at the person doing it to see if they're doing it right. This one's just like, oh no, what have I done? And this one doesn't give a damn. And this one's saying, oh yes, I'm perfect. I'm doing it so right, and I just feel so good. Just relentless joy, joy, joy. This one is just full of fear. Has no clue. Just came here with her friend. This one, and it's just whoa. This is what this is like. So what's going on? What's going on? Farming is yoga, and yoga is farming, and there's breathing techniques and all this stuff. What? Who knew that everything is available to live? It's just that there has been a particular carrot dangled in front of us that shows a way of supposed living that we relentlessly call modern times. Wow. You don't think that people 200 years ago thought that they were modern times? There's nothing new under the sun. Smashed. It's always been a work in progress. A work in progress to just create the master race, the master generation of just smashed people. All worshippers of the light just working relentlessly for the one goal. Just massaging you to one goal of blast into the abyss with the light. All having done it in your own way, in your own version of love, in your own version of truth, and in your own version of relentless lessons learned. Wow, what's mashhood? Void of the Father's love because you relentlessly reject the love of the Father, reject the way of everlasting life because you don't see the truth. You reject it at every step of the way because you cry and you say, you cry out injustice and unfairness and just, oh, the children. Yeah, the relentless children that you are once and relentlessly have bashed since. So, what's going on?
effort.
If
And
anything,
yet,
the it's working. The whole effort of bringing upon this dream, this wet dream of a ritual living that somehow emulates the bride of the Creator is attempting to emulate it, meaning provide some sort of attribute that anyone would see as worthwhile to fight with just that sliver of the pie that they're getting of reward of some alleviation or some sort of whatever. But no, who knew that that's not an easy feat? Because who knew that a person standing with the love of the Father and the truth is not led astray by the false promise of hope of somewhere that they're going to give me that somehow I'm void of it. Wow. Wow. And this is just another head of the Medusa to trap you Because who knew that this would all just who knew that all these efforts are so that there could be this centralized, quote unquote, just and fair way to distribute food and have a itinerary and uh resource, database of making sure everyone has everything that they ever needed all at all times, and keep it stocked and this and keep the diversity going on. Who knew that that would just be the wet dream of, having just one goal, one worship. It all comes down to one world worship. And what do you worship? Exactly. You worship yourself and the world. You idolize the world. The Gaia that you're relentlessly saving or failing to save somehow. And in so failing to save yourself. And the children, because don't forget the children that you say you fight for but are relentlessly smashing and dashing on. Wow. Workers of inequity. Love your enemy. Forgive. Overcome all things and inherit all things through the wisdom of the Father who loves you unconditionally. But what do you see? You just see, this farmer, this farmer right here, he knows. And I wanna live like him. What? Void. Smashed. You're separate. You're carving away at the lifeline to the Father. You've allowed it to defile you. It's a spiritual battle for your soul, for the lifeline. Because the light knoweth you are life everlasting, and the light knows its light, that it was spoken into creation, and who knew that the light would be, it's unnecessary for the bride that has been prepared and is with us the whole time. But do we see? Are we in alignment to receive it in all its glory? Or do we just love the false bride of Gaia and its bash philosophy of Mother Earth and Father Sky and all this bash? What is that? So heaven and earth are the Father and Mother? The Creator of all things. The Creator of all. That is what man is here to see. Through himself, through the flesh, through the made manifest, relentless made manifest.
We say when it comes to the earth, oh, that's too hard.
Well, I think it's partly a result of the age of fossil fuels, where our whole mindset was shifted from life and living diversity and all it gives us, and our role in the service of nourishing it and taking care of it. That is work. There's only one way we can give to the earth. Everything the earth.
No, we don't take care of it. We have dominion, so to speak. We live amongst it, within it. It relentlessly provides. And just because you might have a farm and grow your own food or whatever, fine. But it's not creative. You're working the land, sowing the seed, and reaping what you sow. So what is it that you're actually working on? It's a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual battle. Not a fleshly battle of, relentlessly protect the land, tie yourself down to all the earth. Everyone just lay down and say, no, stop raping the earth. First, start by stop raping yourself and others. Okay? Yes.
Gives to us. There's only one thing we can give to the earth: our effort to give her fertilizer through organic farming.
Right, because earth doesn't do that on itself. It's just that we have relentlessly bashed it, and now it's like, let's Let's do what it already does, but let's do it now ourselves because we've bashed it. It's not that let's do it for ourselves because then we're calling it our creation and we healed it and we brought it back to life. Because who knew that if all the plots of land that are used for um, monoculture and all this stuff, if they stop farming for a few years, it would be overgrown probably by, who knows what type of plant. And that would become the fertilizer for whatever grows next and next and this and that and this and that. Relentlessly, life is relentless. And just because you can come to, build a tool of wood and say, yes, we worked a lot and we brought it back to life. Right, for your use. Because you're not just going to leave it alone. No, you're going to use it or just, use it to just provide abundance of some sort, utopia. It couldn't be that you just defiled it first and now you're supposedly building it back. It couldn't be that life is just relentlessly giving and showing you the truth relentlessly. And who knew there'd be a generation where you've defiled yourself to the point of, oh, there's no more to carve out. The truth is undeniable. But you can carve your own little tunnel into the abyss. All using organic and eco-friendly made tools and everything. Yet who knew that the swarm is relentless? And that when people are screaming and losing their minds, no farm will just save you. The farm is, a means by which to endure the flesh. But do you overcome the flesh and overcome all things with the wisdom of the Father that showeth, revealeth all things, standing within the refuge of its truth and the way, ritualistically, knowing the only knowing, the certainty, not misled by whatever might be a trend or a fad or this or the other, or might evoke you emotionally or whatever, or be disgusted by the ways of you of man and all this, this and that.
Our effort to save seeds, this is the yoga of the earth. The fossil fuel paradigm
The yoga of the earth
is a fossilized paradigm which says that kind of work should be gotten rid of because productivity is based on more fossil fuel use, more climate change, more disruption, more pollution, but working is hard.
Right.
The word.
I mean, this
the
is like
work.
Mordor. It's like the total industrialization and just raping of the the land just to forge an army. Who knew? Who knew that it would come to that? It must come to that. Where the forces wouldn't surround the camp of the saint. The fury. The arms of the world. Of the nations. The one world army that is out there devouring its own. To instill some sort of, false nirvana promise?
In physics means the expenditure of energy to work. It's measured in energy terms. And here we are being useless, desirable, and they're actually thinking of 99% humanity being useless, being
Right.
kept busy with gadgets.
Yes, it's just 99% of capacity being useless, okay? You must use all of it. Yes, I'll use all your brain power and effort to just smash and act now. Take control and responsibility for the children. Yes, do it now. What's she saying? What is the cause? What cause are you fighting for? It's just it's just legion. You fighting for this, for that, for ecofeminism, for anti-capitalism. Just what? But against Medusa, you would say? Against Shiva? No, that's your name, so you wouldn't say it's against Shiva, the multiplexed armed beast that devours. No, it's not that. What is it? What is the cause? What is your purpose? What is your meaning, right? Because you have one. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing that. You'd say, no, no, bashed. So you're bashing your own image of what you're boasting, relentlessly doing. And coming across as, some sort of source of inspiration for other smash to just eat up, but actually just keep on bashing in their own political scheme, their own position, in the whole setup of it all. House of Card truly set up to be smashed, okay? The Tower of Babylon. There's nothing new under the sun. All to gain some sort of, hierarchy, rule, to create their own rule on an earth that isn't for them to rule over, in the sense of take ownership of it and be the savior of it somehow. What is this? What is that mentality? We are made of the earth, from the dust of the earth. And dust to dust. Yes, the flesh, who knew? Yeah, we have the breath of life. And we saw ourselves void of the love of the Father, void of the knowing of the life everlasting, the certainty of life everlasting, and void of the notion that there is a way, that is the purpose. That is the purpose. They are the purpose. Well, no. And having chosen that as the source of your food of spirit, you had to see yourself in that which you chose. But there is resolve in that. Just as there's resolve from the seed up to a plant to the fruit. Hmm. Hmm. And you would say, oh, the plant would be nothing without the sun. Really? Perhaps to your bash aped belief perspective. Yet, who knew that the plant is it's all just executing as it does, as life does, relentlessly. And just because you have created separation between the plant and the sun and just the earth, everything, now it's like, oh well, the plant can't exist without the earth, and the earth can't exist without the sun, and the plant, it's just smashed, just divided, just smashed. It couldn't be that it's the creation of, it's the masterpiece of the creator in its relentless bringing forth. Hmm. No, it has to be the sun. It has to be the Gaia. It has to be the gases that you huff and puff. It has to be this and that. Right? It has to be. It couldn't be that that's all just wordsmithing spells to just keep you in that state of, you guessed it, living ritual. The ritual you worship.
To distract themselves from the crisis they are in and not turn violent.
Right.
The yoga for the earth is a reclaiming of our being, our beings as part of the earth, our calling in the dharma of doing the yoga for the earth. And I have believed on this farm that all we have to do is save the seeds.
You belong to the earth. We're the earth. We are the earth, and that's the yoga earth. Yoga for earth. What is this? You're in the image of the creator. And doubt has defiled us. But instead of going with the obvious and saying, wow, I was wrong, life relentlessly brings forth. Love is relentless. It does not discriminate between those that I judge as good people and those who I judge as bad people. And relentlessly just brings life forth. And the truth is the only guide, and I've walked my own truth and just stumbled relentlessly until I thought I'd matured in all this smash and just kept on defiling, smashing. But no, nobody will ever say that. Because nobody's ever wrong, right? Nobody's ever wrong. You just have to learn lessons and learn tough lessons sometimes. And you have to apologize certain times if if you made some people upset and this and the other. But really, it just makes you stronger, right? You're just bashing, smashing.
And plant a seed at the right season. And the rest of it is a gift from the earth. We don't have to force agriculture in a production system based on chemical inputs, fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, glyphosate, Roundup. We're constantly trying to force the earth through instruments of war to produce food.
Right, she couldn't wait. And who knew that even supposed yoga farming, you have to fertilize it. It requires work and this and the other, and sometimes you get smashed with pests and you have to deal with it with some sort of organic, of course. But you have to do it. And you have to do it relentlessly. Or just, who gives a damn? You let it grow and smash. Whatever. Why do you have to be just the relentless overtaker and just control freak? Life abundantly provideth. Take what you need in the sense of feed from it, harvest, plow, yet feed the spirit. It's a spiritual battle. You do not. Why do you worship nature and its beauty? It's here to show you. You guessed it, the truth. Do you see it, or do you just worship the nature and the light and, oh yeah, Gaia, it's amazing, let's save her? What a shame. Of course, the spiral of the abyss, okay? You couldn't wait. And yes, that's the weaponization of the agriculture. Oh yes, it's this, it is a chemical Roundup, this, it's just, of course, it has to be all those things, right? And who knew it's legion? Because really, who knew that every place, every geographical place has food, is able of some food. There's food to be had. but instead it's just allocated to certain areas and then mass produced and then distributed and shipped thousands of miles and this and this. But of course, people say, "Oh, just do it local. Support your local farms." Yes, 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 that. Just local industrial farms and industrial organic farms. And still, it doesn't reach the source of the question. What are you doing? You're just dishing out money and spending it where you think, oh yeah, the industry should be, the market. Put whatever. It's just smash, weaponizing, weaponizing of our culture. What is this smash saying? Couldn't wait. She couldn't wait.
Food production is a gift of the earth. Our real work is the yoga of the earth.
Beautiful. So I love that. One more little
Okay,
thing.
she loves it's. So yeah, the earth relentlessly provides, brings life forth. Women are the mothers of life in the flesh. So what are women doing? Are they just relentlessly worshiping themselves and Gaia, and not the love of the Father and life everlasting and the truth? No, no. And now they're going to go to my own two hands. Exactly. It's up to me and my own efforts. I do as I will, then I'm carving the stone of heart. That's just going to smash everyone. Yes.
I just have an article coming out in a magazine called Spirituality and Health. It's called By the Pinch and the Handful. It's about encouraging people to come back to the kitchen instead of restaurants and cook for themselves by using their own hands. Throw away the measuring cups. Use your Anjali.
Just witchcraft, just alchemy. It's just alchemy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right, because who knew that cooking, the art of cooking, is alchemy? Who knew? Yet at the same time, food is food and will be forever and ever. So what is food? And do you worship the creator of life or do you worship the food? What is going on? Just split. The inverse, upside down, inside out, and forward and backwards. The turbidity of some clarity in the spiral, the abyss that promises you guessed it, false hope. False hope of being able to cook just by pinching and just being a wizard and just going with waving the wand around and being and then just sprinkling and just putting in some cob oven and just blasting it into the abyss and coming out just like perfect, just like a cartoon and tastes so good. Yes. All because it's just so natural with your hands and without measuring cups and all this, that, and this and that. Just intuitive cooking. Yay! I'm intuitive spirit cooking. It's a spiritual battle. Not how good you can come to just smash some dust into some other dust and put it in heat and then eat it. Is that what you call food? Plow, endure the flesh, and overcome all things. It's a spiritual battle for your soul, for the lifeline of that which you doubted and thought yourself void of. You thought yourself void of the life everlasting. Wow, who knew? And now you're creating some artificial bash fantasy cartoon where you're just going to be a wizard of everything. An alchemical genius, yes. I'm manipulating the elements to the fullest. Goku leveled wizard Gandalf white, you say? No, Gandalf rainbow now. Because the light has smashed it into smash and refracted and refracted. And just fluids of fluids of fluids and just smashed and it's just who knows? It's the abyss. Exactly. Mama showed the way. There is no other way. that bringeth any fulfillment, any sense of love, any sense of belonging, any sense of reward, respect, any sense of whatever it is that you're searching outside of the love of the Father, the certainty of life everlasting under the refuge of truth, which split any fleshly thing deeper and cleaner than any fleshly sword. The only thing you're healing from is the relentless defilement of the carving out of the lifeline to the Father, of the life everlasting, which you are living. Yet you somehow say, no, it's all finite, but it's abundant too. It's finite, but it's abundant. Yeah, just smashed. Just smashed. How can you believe in a finite universe and just say, oh, it's abundant? Smashed. Because now you say, oh, it's just a relative thing of interpretation of how long the sun is around for and this and bash, bash, bash. No. All just rejection of life everlasting. And just because you say, oh, man is mortal and we die, all of a sudden, oh, yeah, we just have to bash and smash and come in and out relentlessly in this life as long as we can. And scream and huff and puff and cry out and just point a finger and just relentlessly take some pride in what we do and give our own purpose and meaning to whatever smash we're doing. No. What a shame.
And your fingers for the pinches. And I think the timing is amazing because just yesterday you were talking about this thing of work by hand or economies that are handmade.
I think we
I think economies that are handmade. Whoa. Wait a second. Everything is handmade, you fool. Every image that you are supposedly, striving for is handmade, meaning man-made. It's been a result of the fantasy of man in his own wet dream of creating a life on earth that he will relentlessly be the relentless ruler and provider of some harmonious bashhood. No. You're in in the image of the creator. So what do you worship? Exactly.
we didn't get these amazing parts of our body for uselessness. I think they have intelligence in them. They have the capacity to hug each other in them. They have the ultimate creativity. I think the
Oh, edit. She had to stop her there and be like, can we just restart? Because you put the question and really put me in a bind here because I can't talk about the patriarchy because it really is, everything is comes down to the hand. Who knew? Because everything that we have come to worship, the ways of the world, are all creations of man. The worship, what you worship, and your relentless position and place that you get from getting approval from that worship in it and by others who worship it too. Smashed. So in that sense, patriarchy is null. It's moot. It's just bash. It doesn't mean anything. Matriarchy, who gives a damn too? It's bash. Monarchy, this, that, the other. Just rulership of what? If not rulership of what? What rulership? Kingship? No. What about the father figure? Yes, exactly. The emblem of truth on earth. Of the family who knew. That is the protection of the vessel of the holy union of the man and wife, man and woman, in holy union, providing the life forth that brings relentless, a true glorious gift. Amen. Forever and ever.
Hands are the most important part of us because not only are they actually intelligent, they're totally connected to our heads and our hearts. And everything we do with our hands is embodied with love and our creativity and our care.
Is involved with the love, right? So everything that you see that around you is it just a proof that what's in your head and in your heart, like you said, is just filth. All you need is just to look around and see, yep, this is Groundhog Day, and be like, wow, filth. Only filth would do that. In the sense of bashing your head relentlessly over and over and again. Defying. Just relentlessly. Just a rebel without a cause, for no reason, other than your self-boasting sense of righteousness and your judgment of those who you think are doing the wrong thing and oppressing and this, and you just need to distribute it better and this and that and the other. Wow. Void of love, relentlessly trying to fill it with the false love of the world and the ways of the world. Feeding off the flesh. That is your only sense of sustenance, This is what you call, the food of life. Because without it, you're nothing, apparently. Apparently, without this, you're nothing. You're just dust. That relentlessly needs to put stuff, organics, just fiber into his gullet and just smash it down and be so healthy. Wow, what smash?
And actually, beauty, health, nutrition is all created by hands. Toxics can come from machines and getting rid of hands. Greenhouse gases can come from fossil fuels that got rid of hands.
Right. So it wasn't that hands made the machinery and the idea to make fossil fuels and this and this and the weaponization and this and that and this and that, right? No. It was machines that did it. And then machines took away the hands away, and wow, what a leap. Which is wordsmithing, just spin doctor.
And it's a fossilized idea that removing hands from work is somehow human progress. I think the future of humanity rests on reclaiming our hands, celebrating.
Right, reclaiming your hands, because hands have been absent the whole time. Now it's time to just put hands back in. Wow, what a shame.
Women's work, which was nullified in the fossil fuel age, celebrating the intelligence in the tip of every finger, in every nerve, in every gut.
Yes, feel
The
your
gut,
flesh. Just
that
feel your
is-
flesh, just your gut. Just feel it. Just feel it all. Feel your gut. Feel your flesh. Yes, yes.
Know the difference between the diversities of food women create with a pinch and a handful,
Oh, the diversity of food that women create with a pinch and a handful.
compared to the monoculture of nutritionally empty toxics.
Oh, right. Compared to all this bash that you relentlessly consume, right? Who gives a damn? Who knew that people relentlessly consume this? We all do. If not this, it's something else. But it's just consumption of, you guessed it, just relentless food. Whether it's packaged like this or in an organic, farmer's market. You still see as, I need food to live, duh. And I might as well eat the most organic, and most dirty food I can. Just amazing. It's so healthy. But no, it's because who knew that if this was the only thing that was left to eat, you would just scarf it down. And who knew? It might make you live a little longer. Who knew? Maybe not. But here's the thing. This sense of self-righteousness of, being so responsible for what you put in your gullet, all the while just defiling and just separating yourself, thinking yourself void of the love of the Father that relentlessly gives forth life for you. Amen. What are you doing? Creating false, just smash hoods of a hallway you're just relentlessly smashing against this type of food or that type of food, this, that, no, 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 let's make just good food for everyone. Yay. Oh, smashed.
That we are burdening the earth's body with and our body with. This, I think, is the future. And it's only the hands that allow us to give back to the earth.
Oh, only the hands.
Everything else.
Why does the earth need you to give back to it? No, it's relentlessly giving. Why does it need you to give back? What could you possibly give back to earth? Nothing. You are here to worship the Father only and bask in His glory. Wow, who knew? And have zero doubt. Stand in truth, in all certainty of life everlasting. Here to endure in the living flesh. Forgive, love your enemy. Until the day you guessed it, the dust claims you back, or whatever it is that happens, and people say, "Oh, death." Exactly. People mourn and cry because it's false love, attachment. Oh, how dare you say that? What is love? What is unconditional love? Exactly. Relentlessly there, giving. All of a sudden, do you not have that love to give to that person when they're not here anymore? Is that just smashed all of a sudden? Or is it that you're crying because they're not there so you can be selfish about having them there and just defile and defile and defile? You cry because somehow you're the victim and you're just left behind and smashed.
We breathe, we take the oxygen
We breathe,
from the trees.
we take those from the trees.
Everything else we take. But when we protect the earth, serve the earth, cook the gifts of the earth, and make them into our body.
Who knew that if you worship the Father, the creator of all, I mean, who knew that in that truth, why would you defile? Everything you would do would be in truth, in right action. You don't no longer need to be defiled in confusion of, oh, what is the right thing? What should I do? Which bandwagon? Which group of corpses should I join to stand and just bang pots and pans and just yell relentlessly? Wow. Just beg. I just want to beg. What group of beggars do I want to join? I want to beg to be able to live and to have some sort of free life. I want to beg relentlessly. Yay! Smashed.
That's when the hands come into play. Everything else is war against the earth and our bodies. Everything else is violence. Love and care comes in these hands.
Love and care comes in these hands, and then smash into wisdom. Right? It's all in the hands, right? But what's behind those hands, right? It's the visible hand that just comes and smashes you because you worship it.
Beautiful, my goodness.
Because there is no need for an invisible hand when the relentless life is showing you the masterpiece of the Creator. Wow, who knew? Who knew there's no need for some invisible hand to just whisper slithers and just defile you into some image that you bash yourself relentlessly into light speed and just come back and relentlessly friction and guzzle in and out and bleed and sodomize and wow, so awesome, so feel it so good. I'm just gonna do it because it's so indigenous and it's such wisdom, right? What are they talking about? Indigenous wisdom now. Oh yes, traditional wisdom. Who knows? Who even knows what that means anymore? It was all rewritten, and originals copies were just burned or just they're just lost. They're just no longer in existence. But we have the copies of the copies of the copies. And they re-added of the re-added and this and this and that, all by some order. You guessed it. There's an order that has been responsible for the reconstruction of the image of what we think is whatever we think it is. Who knew? But yet the truth is relentlessly undefeated. And it truly comes down to what do you see? What do you see? And what do you worship?
You did speak a little bit about the women and how much you've learned from these rural women, farming women. Can you just elaborate on that just a bit?
You know, my physics I learned in universities. My quantum theory I learned in the University of Western Ontario in Canada. But all my ecology I have learned from rural women.
Oh, my ecology, right? Because even the word ecology is a scientific bash institutionalized, word, just like the places you mentioned and the bash you learned there, right? So what are you saying? You're a physicist and some astrophysicist and engineer and just a doctor of everything. And what is this? So you're the expert on everything on life, right? But yet you get your ecology from women. Because, right, ecofeminism and woman is Gaia and Gaia is woman. Wow, life and we're the provider of life. We're the womb. Oh, yes. Yet I support probably abortion and all this smashing of inside and carving it out of flesh. And I also support just the smashing of children who are allowed to come forth in birth to just smash in their own way and their own image of loving and worshiping Gaia and worshiping the notion of the divine feminine. Just divine feminine everything. She is the goddess, she is the ruler, right? To just creating your own image of what it is that you say that is life. Wow. All the while you had the life. You have the life. It's all here. Relentlessly. There's nothing new under the sun. Wow.
Women of Chipko, the movement to hug. Again, you need the arms.
Just witches.
Came out and said, we're going to hug the trees. You can't cut the trees. That's how
and
the
who gives a
mountain
damn? It's just alchemists. The alchemists.
forests here were protected. And I joined them as a young woman.
Oh, she did.
45 years ago.
Alchemists.
Everything I know about ecology came from them. The connection between our rivers and our forests. The connections between women's work.
Who knew that that's not women's work? I mean, who knew that you can come to sea and just, wow, live and know these quote unquote things? Yet, what wisdom do you have? Is it through the love of the Father? No, I bet you it's through only the love of the Gaia and the worship of nature and the mother and it's just the woman, and she's never wrong. The woman is always right and has always been the answer. Just woman, 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 woman. Woman, worship woman. Yes, worship, 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 and love and boast and boast and boast and boast and love. What is she saying?
The protection of those forests. From women, I have learned everything.
Man is here to love women relentlessly, to perform the holy union. Love her relentlessly with the love that fills him from the love of the Father. He has zero doubt and full certainty, devoted to his children and guiding them in truth. And who knew that a woman, wow. What a creation a woman is. Wow. And just as a man. And what it together they're, you guessed it, undefeated. Up until now, because now they don't even know what they are. It could be anything. It could be just diversity this, eco-friendly that. It could be just multiples of fractals.
Everything about the biodiversity in agriculture.
And everything about biodiversity and agriculture and algebra comes from women. The women, according to this person.
About the seeds. I remember when I started seed saving, I'd go to a village and I'd ask the men, do you have these seeds? Because I'd always carry a book showing different crops. And the men said, no, we stopped growing that long ago because they're growing potatoes or soya bean. And I'd keep going into the village and sit with the women. Say, of course we have it because that's real food.
Oh, of course we have, because that's real food. Ha 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 ha. Because potatoes and stuff like that are real food. Ha 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 ha. Right? What is she saying? And again, yes, it's the women that know all. They know. They're just quiet. You just have to seek them out and give them power and boast and boast and boast. Wow. Well, just dividing, pitting against each other, putting the just the smile of just ha ha ha. See, men are just dumb and stupid, and women know everything. Hmm. Could it be that both men and women are confused and just bashed and defiled, and they're all in it for themselves? Hmm. And you say no, women are doing. They have to do. They're so oppressive. They have to do all the work and this and bash and smash and smash and smash and smash and smash and smash. Well, according to you, that's what men have done all along in the patriarchy. They've just smashed and smashed and smashed and smashed. So why is it now so horrible when women are smashing and smashing and smashing and smashing? Because if men have been doing it all along, and now apparently now they're just clueless and just don't do anything, while the women do everything. What's going on? What's going on?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Do you have just one last thing? Do you
A
have
call to action.
something you can
Gonna
tell us
wait.
about? What is it that we can do? What's the call to action? What can we do really to support the work you're doing?
I think food has become the place where the worst harm to the earth is being done and the worst harm to our health. The worst harm.
Food is the place of the worst harm to no. The only harm is the defilement of the place of thinking yourself void of the love, the life, and the truth, and the way that the Father has showed us. Yet you're blind, and all you now have is feeling of the false love of the ways of the world that you were bashed into, taught. So repent, abandon ship. Admit to yourself the ways of the world are folly. The only way is the way of the Father in His wisdom. In line with life everlasting, forever and ever, yes.
Harm to farmers. 75% of the planet's destruction, whether it's soil or water or biodiversity, 50% of greenhouse gases
Okay, so now we're smash,
going
smash.
into the atmosphere coming
Yep.
from the bad food system
Right.
that is also responsible for 75% chronic diseases
Smash,
that
smash,
are coming
smash.
from eating junk, eating poisons,
Right.
eating
It
food
couldn't be
that
from the just poison of believing in a false life, right? It couldn't be that poison. No, it couldn't be. It couldn't be. It all has to do with the just the physical smash that this and that and this and that. It's all the arrangement of the living room. The living room is just arranged properly. We just have to go and rearrange it to what this. What smash?
that has no nourishing value. This is also the system removing small farmers from work and destroying women's creativity in the kitchen.
Oh, destroying the woman's creativity in the kitchen because if she doesn't have the ingredients to cook with, she's smashed. Oh, the injustice. Oh,
Making it look like it's liberation, rather than say everyone should be in the kitchen. Men, children, why should little children not know how to prepare a good meal when both the parents in these
who knew that any parent that knows any sense does that, but they try relentlessly and fail because they've forgotten what it is, the sustenance of life. Traded it in for just what you think is healthy.
terrible times have to work limitlessly? Why should the children live on junk food just because so much distress has been created in society? So it's around food. We can reclaim work, we can protect the earth, we can create more imagination. And as we've shifted in Navdanya from measuring yield of empty commodities per acre to nutrition per acre and health per acre, to creative work per acre and real wealth and well-being per acre,
per acre.
This
See, all
is
this
the
measure,
shift
the
that is
the measure of
accessible to
man.
each of us. And then when we work together and collectively, we realize we can change this.
We're not the measure of man. No, we're in the measure of the Creator. We're being measured by the Creator, and we're just striving to create our own image.
This huge system, because how do we change the big agribusiness? By joining hands with the farmer and saying, I will know what I'm eating and I will know the farmer who's growing it. And that means not only building new
Stumbling.
human communities that are living a caring economy, but through
So if that's true, then why are people saying no? You can't grow food in the city because you don't know. You don't know what's in your soil. Need to have it relentlessly tested and this and that and this and that and this and this and this and that and this and this, right? Just infringement. So who knew that there would be a select plot of area deemed organic plot, and then there'd be little farmer. Anybody who wants to farm for humanity, come join the farm. Come join the relentless proverbial utopia organic farm, right? Where you will have the diversity of biodiversity of multiplexes of verses, and then we'll speed train it to you and your families relentlessly at no cost. But all we require is your relentless worship. No, it couldn't be.
through it becoming our true human selves as Earth citizens and becoming members of the Earth community. These are
Earth
look
citizens.
very
Of
big.
course, they can't wait to throw that bash word around. Earth citizen. No. You live in the image of the Creator. On what you call Earth, you believe it to be some spinning mash ball of something. It's Earth. Wow. Smashed by the light.
shifts, but they are embodied in extremely small, local, concrete actions in our everyday lives.
Oh, she couldn't wait.
Amazing.
Concrete, amazing. Just
Dr. VandamShiva is
what
truly
is the that? It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Wow.
you truly are a giant of holistic thinking.
A giant. Of holistic thinking. Yes, it's so holistic and it's so, comprehensive and just so on point and yes. What is she inspiring? What is she promoting? Who knows? Because apparently it's just all just this, a little bit of that, a little pinch of that, a big pinch of that. What? Who knows? And this person calls it holistic. Just alchemy, wordsmithing at its best. All to push this notion of some sort of modern keepers of the earth. Are you gonna be a keeper? Do you want to keep? Do you want to keep life? Do you want to keep life on earth? Do you want to keep living on earth? Say yes, because yes, it's life on earth is the only thing. It's the flesh. You must fight for the flesh relentlessly. It's a spiritual battle. In a sense of you're open to the swarm defilement to steer you away from the way that has been imprinted in our hearts, shown to us in the flesh, and still refuted and rejected.
My little work.
To me, as I said to you before, a hero and a guru, and really
A hero
such a
and a
great
guru,
leader
just
in terms
superhero.
of the evolution of all life, of humankind.
You're involving just boasting and spoiling like the fat little Buddha, and wow, of course you're just gonna take it all and just say, oh, namaste.
And how we live together, and how that supports life.
That's the shift. We are not machines, we are evolution embodied.
Yeah.
Oh, she couldn't wait. We're not machines, we're evolution embodied. Of course, she believes the smash ape. Because she's just another smash ape too, so we're just all smashed half apes trying to be a better half full ape somehow.
I love that. Thank you so much.
I love that. We're just worship. They're worshipping each other. Wow, how sad. We're evolution embodied. Dr. Navdanya.org. Go to the organizing of corpses. Yes, go. Endure the flesh. Overcome all things. For there's nothing too inherent of the world. Life everlasting is, and is forever and ever. Do you see it, or do you just relentlessly, or put your heel down and just relentlessly grasp onto the sense of your way, your divergence, your enamorment by the worship of shape-shifting light, and how you can come and manipulate images